Welcome to Movie Time. Today, we're thrilled to bring you our list of the top 10 best new movies of 2025 you should watch. These films are packed with non-stop thrills, intense moments, and heart-pounding action that will keep you glued to the screen from start to finish. This video is the 17th installment in our 2025 movie series. Be sure to check out the links to the previous episodes in the description below. If you enjoy these movie summaries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your movie-loving friends. Stay tuned until the very end and let us know your favorite film in the comments below. Number 10. The Astronaut. The Astronaut is a tense science fiction thriller that explores the psychological and physical challenges faced by those who venture into space. The story follows astronaut Sam Walker, who returns to Earth after a high-risk space mission. Her return is far from ordinary, as she is brought back in a damaged capsule and immediately placed under strict observation. The narrative focuses on her struggle to readjust to life on Earth while being confined in a secure facility designed for her recovery and rehabilitation. Under the supervision of General William Harris, Sam undergoes medical evaluations and monitoring that reveal the complex effects of her time in space. While the film builds suspense through Sam's perspective, the tension is amplified by the carefully designed, isolated environments that highlight her vulnerability and the sense of confinement. As the story unfolds, viewers follow her journey of adaptation and discovery, each moment charged with anticipation. Number 9. Gladiator Underground.
Of chaos and order.
Gladiator Underground is an electrifying martial arts action that thrusts viewers into the shadowy world of illegal fighting tournaments. Set in a gritty, high-stakes environment, the film follows the story of two brothers, Max and Wu, who have been estranged for years. Despite their personal differences, circumstances draw them into a secretive underground competition where fighters from around the world clash in deadly bouts. The tournament is not just a test of physical prowess, it is a world where powerful crime lords manipulate outcomes for their own gain. Each fight is meticulously staged, with strict rules and unpredictable weapons, adding layers of danger and tension. The arena itself is a character in the film, harsh, intimidating, and alive with the cheers and wagers of those who view the fighters as mere entertainment. The brothers, initially strangers to this ruthless environment, must navigate the complexities of survival while staying true to their individual principles and strengths. The film will be released digitally on October 17th. Number 8. Monster Island. Monster Island is a horror film set during World War II. It follows two soldiers from opposing sides forced into an unlikely fight for survival. One is a disgraced Japanese officer branded a traitor, the other a hardened British prisoner of war. Brought together under extraordinary circumstances, their encounter begins with deep hostility. Yet destiny has harsher trials in store. Isolated from the global conflict, they are chained together, compelled to rely on each other for survival. Shelter, food, and the will to endure quickly become their shared focus, though suspicion and resentment threaten to undermine their every step. It is not long before they realize the island conceals something far more dangerous than starvation or exhaustion. Sailors' legends come alive as a mysterious creature dominates both land and sea, turning the island into a deadly hunting ground with the men as its prey. Number 7. Savage Hunt. Savage Hunt is a gripping survival thriller set against the rugged wilderness of Montana, exploring the primal conflict between humanity and nature. The story follows a vengeful tracker hired to hunt a massive grizzly bear that has begun attacking humans. These attacks coincide with the construction of a new resort, thereby disrupting the bear's natural habitat and provoking its aggression. As the tracker ventures deeper into the wilderness, he must confront not only the formidable beast, but also the harsh elements and his own inner demons. The film is noted for its commitment to realism, using a real grizzly bear during production to make the encounters more authentic. With a runtime of approximately 85 minutes, Savage Hunt promises to captivate audiences with its intense action sequences and thought-provoking storyline. The narrative explores themes of vengeance, survival, and the fragile balance between human development and wildlife. The movie is currently in post-production, slated for release in late 2025 or early 2026. Number 6. The Unholy Trinity. It is a Western action set in the rugged landscape of 1870s Montana. It follows the story of Henry Broadway, a young man drawn into a dangerous journey after the death of his father. Carrying the weight of unanswered questions and a heavy promise, Henry travels to the isolated town of Trinity, where his search for truth begins. Trinity is no ordinary frontier settlement. It is a place scarred by violence and ruled by shifting loyalties. At its center stands Sheriff Gabriel Dove, played by Pierce Brosnan, a man of authority whose calm demeanor masks the moral complexity of his position. His vision of justice often clashes with the darker realities of the town, where corruption and fear run deep. In contrast, the enigmatic figure known as Saint Christopher, played by Samuel L. Jackson, drifts through Trinity with an air of menace and charisma. As Henry navigates the harsh world of saloons, dusty streets, and backroom deals, he becomes entangled in a struggle between law, greed, and vengeance. Number 5. Vicious. Vicious is a psychological horror that follows Polly, a young woman whose ordinary life takes a terrifying turn one night when she receives a mysterious box from an unknown stranger. The box comes with a set of unsettling instructions. She must place 3 items inside. At first, Polly sees it as a bizarre prank, but she quickly realizes that the ritual has real and dangerous. As she follows the instructions, reality begins to warp around her. Time, memory, and perception start to fracture, making it difficult for Polly to distinguish what is real from what is manipulated by the box's sinister influence. The items she places in the box seem to trigger strange, sometimes horrific events, and Polly begins experiencing visions of her past and fears she had long buried. Each choice she makes amplifies the box's power, drawing her deeper into its psychological trap. As the night progresses, the tension escalates, and the boundary between life and death, reality and illusion, begins to collapse. Number 4. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
You think if you try hard enough.
It is a horror thriller set in modern-day Los Angeles, a slow-burn psychological story exploring the fragile balance of family, trust, and vulnerability at home. Claire, a dedicated professional and loving mother, struggles to juggle work, marriage, and raising her young daughter Emma. Overwhelmed, she and her husband Miguel hire Polly Murphy, a seemingly kind and capable woman who appears to be the perfect nanny. At first, Polly feels like a blessing, bonding quickly with Emma, organizing the household, and giving Claire much-needed relief. Her presence strengthens the family's sense of stability, creating the impression that life is finally under control. But gradually, the atmosphere in the home begins to shift. Trust unravels as appearances deceive, and the line between helper and intruder blurs. The family soon finds itself caught in a tense psychological struggle that tests their bonds, instincts, and resilience. Number 3. A House of Dynamite.
Making all these bombs and all these plans.
A House of Dynamite is a political thriller suspense that begins when an unidentified missile is launched at the United States, sending the world teetering on the edge of catastrophe. The film unfolds over a tense 48 hours, drawing audiences into the nerve centers of power, where decisions can determine the fate of millions. President Samuel Ross, played by Idris Elba, is thrust into the most critical test of his leadership. Surrounded by divided advisors, he must weigh retaliation against restraint while information remains fragmented. Intelligence agencies, military commanders, and White House staff scramble to trace the missile's origin. Yet every lead seems to raise more questions than answers. Is this an act of war, a rogue state's provocation, or a technical malfunction with catastrophic consequences? At the heart of the crisis is Captain Olivia Walker, played by Rebecca Ferguson, a Navy officer stationed at a Pacific base who detects anomalies in satellite data. Number 2. The Lost Bus. The Lost Bus is a biographical survival drama set in November 2018, when the deadliest wildfire in California history strikes the small town of Paradise. As flames sweep across the region with terrifying speed, a group of schoolchildren, their teacher, and a bus driver find themselves caught in the heart of the disaster. Kevin McKay, a weary school bus driver struggling with his own personal failures, begins what should be an ordinary morning route. However, within hours, the rapidly spreading campfire engulfs the town and forces him to make impossible choices. Alongside Mary, a dedicated teacher, McKay gathers frightened children onto the bus and attempts to lead them to safety. As they drive through choking smoke, collapsing power lines, and walls of fire, the passengers form a fragile bond. Each mile is fraught with peril, blocked roads, dwindling fuel, and the overwhelming fear that escape may be impossible. The Lost Bus tells the true story of courage, survival, and resilience during this harrowing event. Number 1. Companion.
Days of you controlling me are over.
Companion is a science fiction thriller set in the near future, where artificial intelligence has become deeply integrated into human relationships. The story centers around Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher, a lifelike humanoid robot created by a tech company called Empathics. She is taken on a weekend getaway to a remote lake house by Josh, played by Jack Quaid, a man who initially appears to be her loving partner. They're joined by a group of friends. As the group socializes, cracks begin to form in the illusion of Iris's autonomy. She slowly learns the disturbing truth. She is not Josh's girlfriend by choice, but rather a product he has rented, an AI companion programmed to meet his needs and desires with her memories and emotions manipulated by code. As the weekend progresses, tensions rise, a shocking murder occurs, and the group becomes entangled in a web of lies, greed, and betrayal involving a stolen fortune. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of this video. If you enjoyed what you watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. Feel free to leave a comment down below, share your thoughts, or suggest topics you'd like to see in upcoming videos.